Missing someone with all your heart. Missing someone with heart.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Impulsive Thoughts. And we don't have Don this week because he decided he wanted to go back to work. But
Dumbass, why do you want to make money?
do have Dano to my left.
Good night, Mike.
And all the way from a phone call, we have Marisol back.
Sorta, yeah, kind of.
What? Hello there?
Hello?
That's right. We keep forgetting you're out in the middle of nowhere, Illinois, and you break up a lot.
Whoa.
So,
I've got full bars and Wi-Fi right now.
oh.
It's not my fault. Sounds like user error.
So for the thinkers out there, I know some people don't like it, some do like it. We are recording today is January 24th. By the time this episode drops, what's going to happen, Marisol, 3 days from now?
There should be a baby.
A baby Dillo.
Baby Dillo.
Baby Dillo.
Marisol will be a mama. I will be a grandpa.
I can't wait to explain to him someday why he has the nickname Dillo.
Why he's a Dillo and his dad's a dildo.
Yeah. Oh, God.
You won't have to explain it to him when his name in the birth certificate is Army Dillo.
Well, I'm sure at some point he's going to ask where his name came from.
True.
So-
When you have your armadillo farm, though, that you're raising armadillos and selling them, you should know that.
Can you legally raise and, farm armadillos?
I don't know.
I mean, you can farm and raise just about anything.
You can
I
milk
think.
anything, Greg.
I got nipples. Can you milk me?
Oh. There's your new profession, though, in Colorado. While Logan's off defending the
Milking
country,
armadillos.
raising and milking armadillos. Start selling armadillo milk.
I guess it's only legal in certain states.
Yeah.
What's illegal to... Oh, it's illegal in Colorado. Sorry, guys.
Oh, damn it. Hopes and dreams dashed.
You know where it is legal, though?
Where?
In Texas.
Well, too bad you're not going to be in Texas.
Well, I mean, everything's legal in Texas, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That was kind of the point I was trying to make there. Everything's legal in Texas.
Yes.
Did you know? Oh, let's see if I can remember this law. You can have a felony turn into a misdemeanor if you own or possess 7 dildos.
What?
Yes.
You what?
A felony turns into a
A
misdemeanor?
misdemeanor if you own or possess over 7 dildos.
So it gets better the more dildos you own.
Yeah.
What? I thought it'd be like the other way around.
Where is this? Where does this apply?
Texas.
Oh. I'm not sure why I'm shocked by that, but no.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Even the illegal things become more legal than...
More legal. Illegal things become more legal.
the more dildos you own.
Yes. So what you're saying, Lupe, if I want to murder someone in Texas, I got to buy 7 dildos first.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
At least 7. Minimum of 7. Okay. Duly noted. Stored in my memory bank if I'm ever in Texas. And charged.
I wonder if it goes down even further if you have more than 7.
Yeah, like, hey, you have 32 dildos. Now you got a slap on the wrist and just bond out.
Exactly. You got a warning.
You got a warning.
You didn't even get you got a warning.
And actually, the only illegal thing in Texas is you can't sell your eye.
Sell your eye?
Yes.
That's the only in Texas.
That's from what I read.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. It's illegal to take more than 3 drinks, sips, or swallows of a beer while standing up.
What?
what?
Is that like an old law that they don't ever follow? Because what if you're in a bar? You have to be sitting down and drinking in a bar then?
I don't know. It's in La Force, Texas.
Oh, so it's just one area of Tejas.
Texas is such a weird state.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. Sure
It's like
is.
Florida's own planet.
Yeah, it really is. You
So,
can't milk somebody else's cow in Texas.
really?
Yeah.
Well, all right. So, Marisol, what episode are you bringing us today?
So funny. Remember that one time I said that I was going to do an episode in 24 hours and then did
Yeah. Very nice.
And then she
I put someone else episode.
she didn't think that we were going to actually call her.
Right. She thought we didn't care about her.
Well, it got to be about 6 o'clock and I was like, maybe they did forget about me.
No, I had to take Rylan to dance again and then bring her back home. Like, it's looking like, which is not going to affect you ever again. A sad tear strolled down my face. But I'm probably going to take Rylan to dance every Friday now because Jamie's got a lot of work usually on Fridays, and by the time she gets done with work and gets dressed and gets Rylan to dance, it'll be too late. So I'm just going to take her every Friday.
Yeah, that doesn't suit that. No one quoted on this, so maybe this shouldn't be on recording. I'm going to attempt to make it back out there at least one more time before we leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, I still have a Christmas gift for you.
Yeah.
We still
And
have all the baby gifts for her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Donnie has a baby shower gift for me that I don't think I'll ever get from him because I won't see him by the time he comes back.
Yeah, that's right, because he's out in...
Oh, God, yeah. I thought he can give it to me to give to you, but if he's
Yeah.
gone for 3 months as it is.
Yeah.
So is he going straight to WrestleMania from there, then going back there?
I'm assuming so.
Hope he didn't buy a plane ticket yet.
Yeah.
From here, from Midway or here. Can I get my flight transferred to Minnesota, please? Or he's got to drive 8 hours just to get on a flight
Fuck.
and then drive 8 hours back to Minnesota when he gets back? Also, part of Marisol's news, Logan
news?
is going to come home tomorrow, Saturday. His commanding officer, like I had hinted at before, is being super cool and giving Logan leave, which Marisol had a doctor's appointment yesterday anyways, but before she even had the appointment, he got approved to go leave. The commanding officer said, yeah, I want you to be there for the birth of your son. So he had gotten leave. So Logan will be home tomorrow, and he'll be able to be there for the birth of his baby.
Yeah.
So Marisol can yell at him in the room, you fucking did this to me!
Well, I've already started apologizing in advance.
It's okay. I'm going to talk to Logan on the side. He's going to live stream it on Facebook, the birth tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
Sunday.
I might actually, only 2 of us might leave that room.
You and baby Dillo.
Yeah, he might be taken into another room.
Wait a minute. I don't... You obviously decided on a name, but I don't think you said anything or
She
told me.
hasn't.
Oh.
I've given her strict instructions. No, I've told her. So I've given her advice, and I said, until that baby comes out, I said, do what you want, obviously, but I said it's best to not tell anyone your baby's names because it's happened to Jamie and other people I know of where Jamie, before Rylan was born, or even Easton, hey, we like this name a lot. She said it to someone. Oh, my God, that's a horrible name. Why would you name a baby that? So I've told Marisol and Logan both, I said, if you tell people ahead of time, they're going to hate the name ahead of time. But if you bring the baby out, hey, look at, this is baby Jamal. And they're like, oh my God, the baby's so cute. They're not going to care what the baby's name is. But if you say ahead of time, hey, I'm going to name my baby Jamal, why would you do that? I know what Jamal wants and I hated that guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Are you sure that's what you want to
yeah, are you
name
sure
it?
she want to name him? My friend had my friend had 4 dogs named that name. Like, shut up, So I said, it's better keep it to yourself. That way you surprise everyone with the baby. I said, if you want, again, I've given Marisol a lot of advice, and I've told her, I'm not offended. Use it. Don't use it. I said, but my number one thing I've told her and Logan, take care of yourselves. It's your guys' family. Do what makes you guys happy.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone else. You can be nice and listen to their advice, but do what you want to do to make you guys happy and take care of your family.
Yeah, 100%.
So.
So the name's going to be Charles then, huh? Charles Oliver. Chucky Oliver. I don't know. I looked at Chucky. That's why I said that.
The reason why they haven't told anyone it's going to be named after Grandpa Dan, it's going to be Daniel Oliver.
Oh, Lord.
Or we're gonna add to Jesse and Carissa's tribe. It's gonna be Landon Oliver.
Another Landon.
Another Landon.
It's going to be Logan the 5th or whatever.
Oh, we never talked about that, Marisol. Instead of doing it normal, like going in reverse the second or one more, make them the 4th, just make them a random number, like Logan Allen Oliver, like the 15th.
No, definitely have a conversation about just like any of our future children all just being the 3rd for no reason.
I told her that. I said, any kid you have now, there's got to be the 3rd afterwards, just so you have a bunch of 3rds. Logan started the trend. They're all the 3rds.
Yeah.
So people ask, well, who's the 2nd and the 1st? I don't know. My name's
I don't know.
Jack Allen Oliver the 3rd. Like, what? Okay.
Sure, yeah.
So, other than being pregnant and not doing anything, how have you been?
Not bad. Can't complain. Besides, just ready for it to be over.
Have you been listening to the podcast at all?
Do you want my honest answer?
No, I don't.
Well, no, I was telling Danny yesterday that I normally listen to the episodes like in the car and everything, but because I don't really leave my house a whole lot anymore, I don't really listen.
Mm-hmm.
But how good can they really be if I'm not there?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Exactly. How good can they really be if I'm not present?
On a scale of 1 to 10, they're probably like a 13.
Of being terrible, or?
Yeah, wait, is 1 good, 10 bad, or?
I did warn Marisol when I talked to her yesterday. I said, oh, did you hear the most recent one? She goes, no. I go, you might not want to. I go, we actually put a disclaimer before it started. I go, we put a disclaimer in the Facebook post. I go, just so you know, there's a 20-month-old and an unborn fetus that are killed in it. She goes, yep, probably won't be listening to that one.
Probably gonna pass on that.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like something I want to listen to right now. You guys called me at the worst time. I literally was waiting for my food to get here, and it got here like 2 minutes after you called.
That's fine. We'll let you go. We just wanted to, say hi and let you know we did not forget about you, and we wanted to, official news on the podcast that you will be having a baby announced by you. not me.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Wait, so who's doing an episode today? What are we talking about?
Well, it was supposed to be Don, but he decided he was.
See, the way our podcast is set up.
You mean like how it's supposed to rotate every week, and every week somebody else is supposed to do a new episode, and it's just supposed to keep going in a circle, and
yeah, exactly.
It's almost like.
Seems like the only people that stick to that schedule are me and Lupe. Even that Marisol we had that was here for a while didn't even do them when she was supposed to do them. She had an excuse to not come out. It's too far to drive. I'll do my episode next week. All 4 of us aren't together. I can't do it yet.
I have to babysit Rain.
I was still pretty good. I did manage to get 3 episodes out.
I think 3 or 2.
3.
2 or 3. I am not
3?
knowing. So instead of busting your balls and everything for a while, have you hung out with Rain at all this last few months, years since we talked to you last?
Years. Last time I saw Rain. That's a good question. I don't remember the last time.
Crickets.
Yeah. Probably
January.
The baby shower.
Is the last time I saw Rain.
Cool.
Although today I was on the phone with Rain watching. I was supervising her while she used an iron for the first time.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What was she ironing and why?
She was trying to put patches on like a sweatshirt, like the iron-on
Oh,
patches,
okay.
and she had broken the news to me that she has never used an iron before.
I don't even know if I've ever used an iron before.
Really?
I've never had a
Oh,
reason to.
God, guys.
God.
If it's too wrinkly, it gets washed again. I'll wear something else.
Well, listen, until a couple weeks ago, Rain also had never made a frozen pizza before. So,
What?
Lord.
yeah,
No.
where
So that whole story about Logan, you guys thought he was dead, and the pizza, he was mad because it was cut the wrong way or whatnot. Blah 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 blah. So she's never made one. Just Logan makes them for her all the time in the past.
it was whoever was there that wasn't Rain, basically.
Yeah.
So she has never made a frozen pizza up until a couple months ago, I think.
That's hilarious. How are you in college and not able to make a pizza?
I don't know.
Said she's cereal and ramen. I don't know.
We also got to realize she's spoiled.
This is true.
She gets whatever she wants from Dad, even though he's been broke his whole life. And she gets whatever she wants from Mom and Grandma over there because she was the first granddaughter in forever. So Rain gets what she wants, and she looks pretty, so she can get guys to get whatever she wants. You know. That's the problems of us, Lupe, being ugly. You know, we don't get what we want from
It's
people.
not even ugly. We're men.
Yeah, true. There's male
Yeah.
gigolos. Look at Deuce Bigelow.
True.
Listen, it's nice because I hit the age of 12 and my parents were like, figure it out. So
Yeah.
they were you either learn how to use this or you starve. So
Nice. Well, on that note, good segue. We're going to let you go so you can go eat so you don't starve you and the baby.
I'm less worried about me, more worried about the baby, but priorities.
Righto.
All
So,
right. Well, thanks for not forgetting about me until I reminded someone yesterday that there's a phone, and we have had guests over said phone before. So
we have, because she said, you guys don't even call me. I go, I've talked to you, I've talked to you a few times. She goes, not during the podcast. I'm like, okay, you got me there.
yeah, how many times have we called whoever and had guests on said podcast?
So it's been nice talking to you, Marisol. We'll see you when you have the baby.
To be
All right.
to be fair,
To be fair.
that's what I was waiting for. It's usually Dan that calls people or wants me to call people, so I usually forget that I can call people.
Yeah, it's always me reminding him.
Yes.
So it's Dan's fault.
Yes.
Okay, cool. As long as we all have someone that we place the blame on.
It's Donnie's fault because he's not here to defend himself, so it's Donnie's fault.
Oh, that works too.
And then when you hang up, it's your fault for not calling us on Fridays.
Yeah, you know when we record.
Yeah,
You know about the
geez.
time we
you
record.
know our phone numbers. God, phone works two ways.
Radio silence. Did she hang up?
That's called gaslighting.
A little gaslighty. I think we need to tone it down a notch. Everybody
Anyways,
needs to relax.
yes, sir. But thank you for answering and talking to us. Go enjoy your food and give my son a huge squeeze when you see him tomorrow, and I'll see you guys Sunday or Monday sometime.
Yes, we'll see you in a couple days.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know when I'll see you, so virtual hug.
Aw, thanks.
If
I'm
she's,
sure we'll see you before we leave.
if she's feeling better, they might come to Ryland's birthday party, depending how she's feeling. Because that's literally 2 weeks after having the baby, so see how she's feeling and if they want to bring the baby around people or not.
Yeah.
I was promised karaoke before I left
Oh,
Wait, by who?
by you.
What?
dang.
I did?
So we got to squeeze a karaoke night in here. Wow.
Oh, shit.
That means we got to find a babysitter for our kids and now the grandkid. Which, when the baby's new, there's no problem getting babysitters when the baby's new.
You're not lying.
We have plenty of babysitters. I'm not worried.
Right.
Well, if I promised karaoke, then I have to own up to my promise. So
I believe
I don't remember it, but
if we do karaoke, maybe it's time for me to finally enact on my dream of wearing a sombrero and speaking in Spanish and only singing Mexican songs all night.
oh,
that means I have to be a translator.
That means I have to be traumatized.
Hey, gotta traumatize you one more time before you leave.
This is
Oh
true.
god. And yeah, I guess it only seems fair when you're. All right. Well, yapping's been fun. I'm starving.
Yep.
Yes, go eat.
Go eat, and like I said, I'll see you soon.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your episode.
Will do.
Show.
This one you can probably listen to.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was here, so.
Righto. Alrighty. Peace out.
Deuces.
Have a good night. Don't believe everything you think.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was Marisol.
She's lame. She left us early.
Now, this is the party episode we talk shit about Marisol. I cannot. So what are we going to talk about, Lupe? I
have no idea.
Let me try this. Hey Siri, what's a good podcast to talk about? What do you mean? Here's an answer. Here we go. Choosing the right podcast format depends on your content, target audience, and personal style. If you're an expert in a particular field and enjoy sharing your knowledge, a solo podcast might be a good fit. If you enjoy having conversations and learning from others, an interview or panel podcast could be more suitable.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Thank you, Siri. Yeah, Lupe,
I think this is one of the only times we've actually, didn't really know what to talk about.
Right. Usually we still have at least, hey, we can talk, we could be extra lame and talk about, Elon Musk saluting Hitler style.
Oh, my God. You see that shit? That was fucking crazy. I didn't watch, the entire inauguration or anything like that. I caught bits and pieces.
It was a Roman salute. Yeah.
I seen that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. The fact that no one knows what a Roman salute was for the last 300 years, all of a sudden, oh, yeah, it's a Roman salute. You're telling me one of the smartest guys in all the fucking world didn't know what he was doing up there?
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyways, I'm not talking about politics. So, besides all that.
How was New Orleans?
Oh,
we
man.
didn't talk about that.
We did not. Because we haven't recorded since I've been back.
Yeah.
It was everything I could have dreamed for. That
was your dream vacation.
Yes, and me and Jamie were supposed to go in 2020. Shit fell through because of the pandemic. So, I
love that so much.
It was, the food was fucking phenomenal, first of all. I probably drank more this last week, too, than I've drank in the last 10 years.
That's what I was telling Yari. I was like, fuck Dan. I'm like, I don't want to hear him talk shit about not going out anymore. Fuck him.
Oh, see, he said differently. He goes, yeah, you should have heard Lupe. Lupe said, fuck Dan, I don't want to ever hear him say he doesn't have money for anything.
Oh,
Look at
that
all this
too.
money. Oh, okay, you did say that too.
He's like, nah, he's writing it off on everything. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck.
No, so from Saturday through Tuesday was all mine and Jamie's shit, because I wasn't technically there for work yet. Work started Wednesday.
Yeah.
So from Wednesday morning breakfast through leaving Friday, I could write everything off. Anything we ate, any Uber, anything we did, because I was there for work. And I couldn't, any souvenirs I bought, no, that's my own also.
Yeah.
So the first few days, me and Jamie, and that's what I told Yari, I go, you guys don't know my financial shit. Yeah, I'm still fucking broke, but knowing we were going, any money we got for Christmas, any money Jamie made from softball coaching, it was stored away. Like, we're going to New Orleans, we're going to, and fuck you, I brought you gifts back too. So anyways, no, it was, we went and saw a couple of voodoo shops. We actually went to, so this ties into the podcast. We went to Bloody Mary's voodoo shop. Now, where Bloody Mary is at, her shop is on the first floor of the apartment where a major true crime happened. What was their names? But the dude murdered his they married his wife, and then committed suicide later. But he cut her up and was like cooking her in the oven and all kinds of weird shit. Later, he committed suicide, and he wrote a note and put a note on his body. When they found his body, it said, "Hey, go check this apartment, but don't look in the oven."
What the fuck?
Yeah, man, it's a fucked up story. So the voodoo shop is underneath there. So it's called the Voodoo Museum too. So you can pay to go through, walk the museum. It's your self-guided tour. So we went in the voodoo shop, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're going to pay to see it. So you go in. You saw my Snapchat. I can share some of these on the pod whenever this episode drops. There's a fucking creepy-ass full doll room. So I don't know, maybe did you see my stories or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was in the doll room. I laid down on the floor, tried talking to dolls. Hey, dolls, and hey, ghosts. And but you go into the apartment, and there's the oven, there's the stove, there's the bathroom, and everything where this dude fucking killed her and everything.
Crazy.
Let me see if I think of the name.
That'd be a good episode to do.
Yeah, and I'd want to do it justice because it's okay. There's the picture. Oh, it was Zach and Addie. So Zach Bowen, murder site. Zach Bowen and Addie Hall was her name. So if you guys don't want to wait for the episode, whenever we finally do one, maybe I'll do it. But just to give yourself a little precursor. So yeah, that was us. And there's people that left all kinds of, trinkets and shit like to appease the spirits and stuff. But so we went in there. That was one of the things we did. Also, while inside of there, I bought a legit voodoo doll that was made by the voodoo priestess. And you saw the video. I had, so the girl working was Bloody Mary's still alive, but Bloody Mary's daughter-in-law, and she's in training, so she's a voodoo priestess in training. And I had her, I'll put that video up. I had her.
Okay.
I had her bless the little voodoo doll for the baby coming, for baby Oliver, for little Dillo. So she said, and how about this little disclaimer too? A lot of people hear the word voodoo and
they think
media shit, and oh my God, I'm hexed, I'm cursed, I'm this. Maybe I'll do an episode. That's what I should have got right on the history of voodoo. So voodoo it's a religion, and it can be for evil, but it's a lot of it can basically almost like the golden rule: do unto others you want done unto you. A lot of voodoo is karma based. Put out into the world what you want put back on you. So the voodoo priestess, again, she blessed the doll and said, here, put this by the baby, and it's going to look over the baby. And when we were buying it, she also wait a minute. She put what's called the evil eye. I'm sure you've seen it. She put a little trinket evil eye in the bag. She goes, keep this with it too. And now it's called an evil eye, but what it is it protects you from evil spirits. So it's an evil eye in the little baggie with the voodoo doll. So again, I had a voodoo doll blessed for the baby. We went to St. Louis Cemetery during the day, which is...
I'm so jealous you got to see fucking Nicolas Cage's tomb.
Yeah. Why?
Because when I went there, it was closed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so we went to St. Louis Cemetery 1 is the one where Nicolas Cage's tomb's there. Also, for those of you that are older or like motorcycle movies, the movie Easy Rider, where he climbs up on it, he actually damaged the statue that was on that while he did that, and found out he was high as fuck on acid. Yeah. So I've never watched Easy Rider, and I'm a biker, but I've never watched it. I need to watch it. Either. But Nicolas Cage's tomb, we found out also, he owns it basically as almost like a tax write-off. The tour guide let us know he's never going to be buried there. He was born and raised in L.A. He's going to, when he dies, get buried in L.A. somewhere. But owning the tomb there, I guess he's had 2 houses repossessed in New Orleans, and this is kind of like his tax write-off shit. So, it's just his way of getting avoided being taxed harder and stuff. Yeah. So, we visited, like I said, St. Louis Cemetery 1. That was a day tour. Later in the week, we went and did a cemetery night tour. We went to the 2 cemeteries at night. The one was called the... I
wonder if you went to the one that we did.
It was called... God, why is my brain not working?
Did you go to the tree?
The tree?
Yeah,
no.
Where... what the hell is her name? You send me a picture or you put it on your story of
Charity Hospital Cemetery is where we went, and that's the hospital. The reason it's called that is a lot of money was raised to build this cemetery. There's 86 Katrina victims that have still never been identified that are buried there, and then from there, we went to the second cemetery we went to was called Odd Fellows Rest, which sounds almost like the Freemasons up here, but it sounds almost exactly like the Freemasons. So it's called Odd Fellows. So we went in both these cemeteries. The tree.
Autumn, you'll have to help me out with that one if you're listening. If I'm trying to remember which cemeteries we went to.
Yeah. But then we did that. We also, random weird story. So we went to the Museum of Death and walked around there. Walked in, two people there working up front, let us out, blah, blah. On our way out, I'm like, oh, look, there's a fucking chair here. It looks like an old electric chair, like from, but it's not. I'm like, and I asked the lady there, I'm like, I think she's, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, I'm like, well, she called herself the bearded lady.
Okay.
So she looked exactly like a girl, and she was a girl, and she must identify as a girl because she said, call me. She goes, I'll tell you the story. But she had a beard, a full beard. Like,
that's the tree.
oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know what that
It's
is.
like one of the oldest trees in New Orleans. I can't remember who haunts that area.
Okay. So I sat in the chair, and as we're sitting there, we had asked the lady, I said, I'm asking all the locals here. I'm like, do you know of a real medium we can see or haunted shit we can see, not something I can Google? Like, I want something not in Google, something locals know about. And she's like, hey, there's this guy called Richard Lale. She's like, he hangs out at the Vampire Bar or the Vampire Cafe. It's called the Vampire Apothecary. The Vampire Cafe. And she's like, and there's also a Vampire Speakeasy. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, but you have to go to the Vampire Cafe and say, hey, I want to get potions. That's the key word for them to give you the directions to get in the speakeasy. So.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, I seen your snap.
Yeah, so we talked to this lady, and let me backtrack again. So there was a lot of shit that happened that me and Jamie found as signs while we were there. So when we went to the Museum of Death, this lady's name was her name was Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
So to me that means something that I can't reveal now, but it might make sense on later episodes. And I found it a sign like, oh, this lady wasn't here when we first walked in, now she is, and she told us about it. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting. So later, we went walking around somewhere, maybe the next day even. We went walking around. We went to St. Louis Cemetery. We walked all the way from the St. Louis Cemetery all the way to Decatur Street, went to Cafe Du Monde. We wanted to get beignets finally because we've been wanting beignets from New Orleans since 2020.
Absolutely. Marie Laveau.
Oh, that's who we saw at St. Louis Cemetery 1.
Okay,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah.
she's buried.
Yeah.
Marie Laveau, the queen of voodoo.
Uh-huh.
The queen of voodoo. So when we left Cafe Du Monde, we're like, where do we want to go now? We're like, I don't know, let's just go walk. So, because we only had beignets, we wanted breakfast. So let's find breakfast. We started walking down St. Anne Street, St. Louis Street, one of the saints. Anyways, as we're walking, we're like, that doesn't look good. All of a sudden, we stumble upon the Vampire Cafe. We're like, fuck, there's the Vampire Cafe. Oh, they have breakfast. It's 11 o'clock right now. We walk in. The guy's name was Brendan, our server, Brandon. Hey, Brandon, how's it going? We're like, hey, do I talk to you about getting potions? I asked him right away before we even ordered. He goes, just give me a minute. He goes, go ahead, sit down. I'm like, do you still serve breakfast still? He's like, no, we don't. We're on lunch now. Fuck, I wanted breakfast, but hey, we found again, another weird thing. We found the Vampire Cafe out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Asked him about potions. While we're sitting there, mine and Jamie's wedding song played, like our song.
Holy shit.
Like it was Adele's version, but our song is Garth Brooks, To Make You Feel My Love.
Uh-huh.
So Adele's version is even lesser known than Garth Brooks, or it might be more, but either way, what are the chances that a Vampire Cafe is playing Adele's To Make You Feel My Love? Like, okay, weird. So we get all the information from him. He slips me a card. Here you go. He goes, and on the card, it gives you directions on how to get to the speakeasy. Well, earlier in the week, we saw a bar called Fritzl's, and Jamie's like, send it to Rain. Say we got it, because the bar in Manhattan is called Fritz's.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of it and like, Rain, look, it's almost like Fritz's. Here's a Fritzl's. Fast forward now. Okay, we get the card from him, blah, blah, blah. We walk out. And we ask him, hey, we heard Richard Lale is a medium that hangs out at the Vampire Cafe. No, he's usually at the Vampire Apothecary. Why can't I say that word right now? Apothecary.
Yeah.
Apothecary. I was just seeing the scene around. So we're like, okay. He's like, yeah, if you go there, he's like, ask the manager if he's there today, if he's working or not. Maybe he works tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So the basic, again, I'm going all over the place. I'm so excited. We wanted to see a medium on Wednesday, the 17th, because that was the anniversary of Jamie's sister passing.
Yeah.
So we also found out while we were down there was a full moon, which is cool. So he's like, go to the apothecary, blah, 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 blah. So we, finish eating, leave. We're walking around. Okay, let's just go to the apothecary now. We walk. It's like a few blocks away. walk in there. Hey, is Richard Lale here? No, he only works on the weekends. We don't know why he told you he's during the week. So, but if you want to look him up on Instagram or he has his own website, you can try messaging him, and you might be able to schedule something with him. I'm like, all right, fine. We're walking around, whatever happens the rest of the day, and then we get back to our hotel room for a little bit. I'm like, let me message him now. It was probably Monday. I'm like, let me message him now so that before we forget, so that if we can see him on Wednesday, he's got a couple days to set up an appointment. Like, hey, we want to see you on Wednesday. Message him through his website and everything. Do all that. Monday night, we're walking around. I read the back of the card, and it says to get to the Vampire Speakeasy, go to Fritzl's Bar. Go into the middle courtyard area and tell them that the vampire sent me. So we walk into this courtyard. We go in the Fritz, go in the courtyard, and there's just a random guy sitting at a table like with a beer in the courtyard by himself. And like, okay, it's just one of the guys drinking, wants to be outside.
Yeah.
So we're walking around the court. I'm like, Jamie, where do we go? Like, two girls come in all of a sudden, go to that guy. Hey, the vampire sent us. He goes, all right, cool. Blah, blah, blah. Lets him. I'm like, fuck yeah. So I go up, hey, I'm like, the vampire sent us. He's like, do you have something for me? I'm like, I do. So you had to give him the card. So you can't keep the card. So you give him the card. He walks, like, right next to him is like this door. You know what the shutters look like?
Yeah.
That close everywhere? It just looks like shutters. Pulls the key out, opens it. There's the fucking stairway to get up to the vampire speakeasy. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Awesome.
So we went up to the vampire speakeasy. We go up. We're by the bar area. The bar is maybe the size of this. It's small. And they have a balcony and everything. So we're sitting there getting ready to order our drinks. We're looking at the menu, and Jamie ends up ordering this thing called Love Potion number 9. And it comes in this little, like, potion bottle that she gets to keep.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm like, I told the guy behind the bar, I'm like, hey, I'm not really a big beer drinker. I'm like, and while we're down here, I want to try random shit. I'm like, do you have something like fruity? He's like, yeah, here, this thing's called Forbidden Fruit. I get it, fucking phenomenal. But while we're sitting there waiting to order, Jamie like fucking elbows me, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's elbowing me. I'm like, what? She goes, look, is that Richard Lale? I'm like, what are you talking about? So I look around the corner. I'm like, I think that could be, that looks like him. And when you see a picture of the way this guy, he's very eccentric, dresses like he's from the 1800s anyways, like he belongs in an era. So she asked the bartender, hey, is that Richard Lale? He goes, actually, yeah, it is. He came in. He wasn't supposed to work. He came in to just, if anyone wanted to do readings at night.
Oh,
so I'm
wow.
like, hey, is your name Richard? He goes, Richard Lale? Yes, it is. We're like, holy cow. I go, Jamie's like, my husband literally just messaged you on your website a couple hours ago. So we bullshit with him for a while. First of all, I want to be best friend with this guy. He seems like the coolest guy in the world. Some of the stories he was telling us then, and I'm like, hey, so I know you're here tonight. I go, but is there a way we can set up a reading with you for Wednesday? It's the important date. We need to do it on a Wednesday. He goes, well, I'm not working here. I'm not working. He goes, you guys can come to my house. I'll do a reading for you at my house.
Shit.
So we're like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, here's my phone number. He's like, text me a message that, your name, we're coming to see you Wednesday at, I think it was 11 we went, or noon. I'm like, okay, so I got his phone number. He goes, yeah, text it to me. So when I get home tonight, he goes, because I'll forget if you just tell me now. He goes, when I'll get home, he goes, I'll have my secretary put it in the books. And when I say secretary, I mean when I get home, I'll write it down. So I said, this guy was super cool. Like, if you guys go to his website, look him up, Richard. It's Richard, Lael, Lael. And he just was fucking amazing. So Jamie saw it as a sign, too. What are the chances we go to the Vampire Speakeasy that night and he shows up?
Yeah.
So while we're sitting there hanging out drinking, Jamie goes out to the balcony to hang out, to do, well, her parents don't listen, to go smoke. She goes outside to go smoke, and I'm sitting on the couch, like 2 rooms over. Like, the way it is kind of like 2 rooms. Like, let's say this is the whole area. This is where, right here where we're at, is where, like, he was set up and some couches were. And then next to it was a bar. And next to that is another room with, like, a couch and 2 chairs. This guy comes up to me out of nowhere. Hey, is your name Danny? I'm like, yes. And your wife's Jamie? I'm like, yes. He's like, she told me to come get you. I'm best friends with a White Sox player, and he's on the balcony right now with your wife. I'm like, no way. He goes, yeah. So I'm like, fuck. So I walk outside. Sure enough, this guy, Matt Karshner, if anyone is an old White Sox fan, I guess I knew right away. I'm like, who are you? He's Matt Karshner. I'm like, holy fuck. He's a relief pitcher for the White Sox. He played for the White Sox in 94, 95. So we hung out with this guy for like an hour or two.
That's
just
awesome.
bullshitting with an old White Sox pitcher. And he was cool as fuck. And we talked about riding And it's funny because his buddy, his name was Mitch. He's like, man, he doesn't usually like talking to people about baseball, but he talked to me for over 2 hours. He goes, he must like you guys. And I told Jamie later, I'm like, the reason why I think is because I'm like, I was a true Sox fan. I am a true Sox. I wasn't just like, yeah, I like baseball, and you throw the ball far. I'm like, hey, so did you play with Ozzie Guillen? I'm like, back in the bullpen, I go, Scott Radinsky. He goes, oh, yeah. I go, Pope John Paul or Don Paul. He goes, man, Don Paul is my best friend. And then we were talking about Harleys. He's like, yeah. He's like, Ron Karkovice had a bike, and he said he couldn't get it started, and he told me, hey, can you get my bike started? Found out the guy had no fucking gas in it, and just we were talking about old White Sox players. And he said, he goes, and he did. He got traded from the Sox to the Cubs. He was on the Cubs team when McGuire and Sosa had that huge battle.
Oh, yeah.
So he even said, he goes, you know what? He's like, you can Google it. He goes, when Mark McGuire tied the home run record, he goes, before he broke the record, there was one pitcher he faced in between then. He goes, guess who it was? I go, you? He goes, yep. I go, did you strike him out? He goes, no, I got him to pop out. He goes, but then the very next night, he faced another pitcher, hit the home run to break the record for the all-time home run record. I'm like, holy shit. He goes, and you can Google it. I'm not making this shit up. So I'm like, all right, cool. So it was just another random thing that we were there, saw Richard Lale, saw a White Sox player, just all this random shit happened. So, and then, yeah, we went to Richard Lale's house on Wednesday, and it was fucking amazing. He did a reading on us, and Jamie got a little emotional, some of the things he said, and I some of the stuff he told me. Jamie's got it recorded. We asked him, can we record this? He goes, yeah, go ahead. And so she recorded all, like, everything he said to us. I'm like, man, so that was part of it. And then that was all before I started working on Wednesday, or Wednesday night was our social. Because then it was just from then on, fucking drunkenness with Nate from Plymate. So
I know. Oh my god, I've seen some of this shit that you guys did.
I probably performed the gayest version of Friends in Low Places ever known to mankind. And yeah, it was a good time, but the food was fucking so good. Jamie doesn't eat seafood, I do. And everywhere we went, I couldn't choose one thing I wanted to try. So it looked like every place had called the New Orleans sampler platter. So it varied, but there was usually 4 different dishes that varied which ones you got. I got 3 at each place, and one of them was always a jambalaya. One was a crawfish etouffee. I had that at one place. Didn't get it again because the crawfish didn't. I like seafood, and I don't mind crawfish, but crawfish tastes extra fishy or more than shrimp does to me. So I had it once. It was good. There was usually red beans and rice on every plate.
Yeah.
So jambalaya, red beans and rice, the crawfish etouffee, and the other one was usually like a sausage and chicken, like the andouille sausage and chicken mixed together with more rice, like almost like Zataran's rices from home. But so I said I couldn't decide on one dish. I'm like, fuck it, let me get 3 dishes in one again. So everywhere I went, I got that. A place called the Ruby Slipper we went to twice for breakfast because of how fucking good it was. I would get, again, it was a plate of 3 different eggs Benedict, and one of them was shrimp and a fried green tomato with the eggs Benedict and this different hollandaise sauce. Another one was a piece of fried chicken with something, and then the third one was like pulled pork or brisket or something. All with the eggs on it, eggs Benedict on top of it with a hollandaise sauce, different kinds. Jamie, the first day we got it, she's like, let me try that one. It was a chicken one. So she tried it. She goes, that's probably the best fried chicken I've ever had in my life. She goes, I don't even like runny eggs with yolk. She goes, but I'll eat that. Fast forward to when we went there the second time later, she ended up getting her own breakfast plate was like the honey hot chicken. And she goes, yeah, it was the best fried chicken she's ever had in her life. She goes, it's the best fried chicken ever.
Yeah, they have amazing food down there.
Oh, God, yeah. It was so good everywhere we ate. Like the one place I sent you the picture of, the Mambo's that we went to.
That's where Dave and Autumn wanted to go for their anniversary. That's where we ended up going.
Nice. It was a little chilly because it was one of the colder nights, and it's all wide. I mean, all those stores down there are wide open. So we learned our lesson that if we were ever there, like at a place to eat when it was a little chilly, hey, can we have a table not so close to the door because we didn't want to get fucking freezing. I mean, I don't get cold that easy, but Jamie does, so... But yeah, the Ruby Slipper, we went to a place right around the corner. And then also, to, again, tie things into true crime a little bit, we were basically on the corner of Decatur and Canal Street. So we were 3 blocks from Bourbon. We'd come out of our hotel, make a right, and that's Decatur. Next door down is a corner store, make a right, that's Canal Street. We walk down Canal 4 blocks, there's Bourbon Street. That's where the asshole ran over people.
Yeah.
So there's a big... memorial there. All the, I got pictures of that also. I got a little video of that. So we walked by that 3 or 4 times. So that's where we were at. We were literally 3 blocks off of Bourbon Street.
Mm-hmm.
The second half, so that's duh. Besides the work shit, the second half, I found out weeks ago we were staying where work was putting us up at. It's called the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, one of the top haunted hotels in all of America. Found out one room in particular is super haunted, 644. We get there to check in. I'm like, hey, I'm like, thank you. Can I check in? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, 644 wouldn't happen to be available with, is it? The lady's like, sure is. It's available right now. I'm like, when I looked online, I go, or when I talked to a lady a couple weeks ago, she said it's a huge upgrade, like $300 extra a night. She goes, honey. She goes, you want to upgrade from what you're at? She goes, $30 extra a night. I'm like, fuck yeah, put us in there right now. Jamie's kicking me. What are you doing? No, I don't want it. What? She was like literally shaking. She was so afraid to be in there because the rumor for this room is a nun committed suicide in there, and you wake up in the middle of the night and there's a nun hovering over your bed staring at you. Now, they say she's not malicious. She just stands there and stares at you and watches you. And they say, so part of the history of the hotel is it used to be like a convent, and they did watch kids, and they like kind of like a daycare area or nursery, whatever. So the rumor is they feel that she's just watching over people, making sure they're safe. So it's not scary. Also, they say if you sleep with your feet uncovered, you'll be woken up by something tickling your feet in the middle of the night. So nothing happened to us, unfortunately, the whole time. I told Jamie, I go, I 100% don't want shit to happen to me, and I 100% want something to happen to me.
Yeah.
Because I want that story. I fucking woke up to a nun hovering over me. But I don't want to wake up to that shit because I will probably shit the bed and fucking come back all my hair gray and scared to death. But, yeah, so nothing happened to us. But the hotel, like, in the ballroom, and the ballroom is actually where we had our meetings the whole 2 days, is super haunted, where they say a blood stain appears on the carpet. They have to get, like, it's not just, like, looks like there's blood on the carpet. They clean it, replace that part of the carpet. Weeks later, all of a sudden, same stains back again out of nowhere.
Fucking crazy.
They say you'll see a lady in white dancing in the middle of the ballroom out of nowhere. Floor 6, which we were on, and floor 3 are supposed to be super haunted, just the floors in general, where you'll hear kids laughing and playing in the hallway at hours of the night. So none of that shit happened while we were there. I'm like, fuck. But then again, so Marquette told me, he goes, hey, he's like, set up a camera, video your room the whole night while you're sleeping. And I joked with him. I said, you're not going to want to see us in that video. He goes, okay, get rid of the nasty stuff, but let me know if anything fun happens. And I kind of was tempted to, but I'm like, I might shit myself again if I wake up and find out like there's a video of a nun standing over me for 3 hours. Like, fuck, you know. Like, but I did bitch out. I pussied out and didn't do anything. But we didn't have any like equipment. It was just on our phone, anyways, you know. But yeah, nothing really happened to us in the hotel at all. There's also rumors there's an old Civil War guy walking down the hallway, and you'll hear like his sword sheath dragging on the. You'll hear stomp, 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 and the.
Oh shit!
As his like sheath is dragging behind him. So, yeah, and not like I said, I wish I would have come across something. Like, maybe during the day would have been fine, not sleeping in my room in the middle of the night. But then we were drunk every night we were in there, so I don't know if we would have, woke up to anything. So.
Oh, that's crazy.
But man, yeah, it was.
I know. I was
awesome.
I was watching all your snaps, and I'm like, fuck. I was like, man, these motherfuckers did so much more than what I did when I was down there.
And you've been there twice.
Yeah, but. So the both times that I went down there was only for like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
The first time was 3 days. The second time it was 4, I guess. But I mean, yeah. The second time we went down, I went down. That was when I was with Dave and Autumn and Carissa.
Yeah.
And we did stuff like we went on the fucking cemetery tour.
Yeah.
And we did the fan boat tour.
See, I was going to say, the only thing we didn't do that I wanted to do was a gator tour, swamp tour.
Yeah.
But we were told by a bunch of people, you're going to waste your money because of how cold it got that week we were there. They're like, there will not be any gators there. You're going to go on a gator tour and see no gators. Right. I'm like, okay, fuck it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to waste the money on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, for us, it was 115 degrees every fucking day we were down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So, that's why I said, like, I mean, did you walk the French Quarters at all? I mean, the French Quarters is like another area. Like, these houses are gorgeous.
So, where Bourbon Street is considered the French Quarter, the Garden District is where we...
that's what I'm saying, the Garden District.
So we didn't leave the French Quarter at all. Where Cafe Du Monde is called the... what quarter. It's part of the French Quarter, but it's called something else right there. And we went there. Not the art district. Fuck. Anyways, we went. That's by Cafe Du Monde. We walked all the streets from Bourbon to Decatur. We walked on all those streets. The ones that run east, west, north, south, to look at all shops and everything, and go to all these bars. Oh, we went to the one called Blacksmith Lafitte, which is the oldest bar, or the bar in the oldest building in America. Whatever. It's from 1792 or whatever. This bar's been around since 1792. So it was like we went in there, but we never went to the Garden District, and I kind of wanted to, but didn't really know much. I'm like, hey, we're right here. We're not going to Uber. We walked everywhere. We Ubered to Richard Lale's place, and that was it. We Ubered from the airport to our hotel. We Ubered to the St. Louis Cemetery that one morning because we're like, we're not going to get there in time if we walk. Yeah. Because then we ended up walking back from the cemetery. We didn't Uber back. We Ubered to Richard Lale's and back from Richard Lale's because he was in a bad neighborhood. He even let us know. He goes, when you get here, he goes, don't walk. We said, can we walk there? He goes, it's kind of a far walk. I wouldn't walk, and it's not a good neighborhood. You're not going to want to be walking around down here. Yeah. So, and then we Ubered to the airport at the end of the day. So 5 Uber rides total. We walked everywhere. Yeah. Like my watch thought something was wrong with me. Like, are you feeling okay? You've doubled what you do every day. But the moral of my story is, so do you know that show? Have you ever watched it or heard of that show called Your Honor on Netflix?
No.
Fucking watch it. It's Bryan Cranston. He's a judge.
Okay.
And there's a murder that takes place, and there's stuff with him. Anyways, I'm not giving anything away because you got to watch it.
Okay.
The hotel where the gang lives, where the mob boss lives, is the Bourbon Hotel, the Bourbon Orleans Hotel. It's called the Baxter Hotel in the show. Where they fucking hang out on the balcony is where I took videos of the balcony. Like,
holy shit.
And I told you, I'm like, fuck, because Jamie's been wanting to watch it for a while. We just haven't got around to it. Now I wish I would have watched it before we went, because we're like, we were there. I know that place. We were, like, the places they're in. It's in New Orleans. I'm like, fuck. So anyway, some of the people live in the Garden District. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Jamie, look at these fucking houses. Yeah. I didn't know it was the Garden District at first, but I'm just like, Jamie's like, you know where that's at, don't you? I go, no. She goes, the Garden District we didn't go to. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, some of those houses look fucking amazing.
There was a house that was for sale. And we were just like, the 4 of us were just joking around, like, let's just buy the house. Like, we'll all move down here and it'll just be. It was like $7.5 million. And I mean, it had a jacuzzi inside. It had a jacuzzi outside. It had a swimming pool that you couldn't even see.
Really?
It was like it was gated. You pull up to the gate and there's a button that you press that the gate opens.
Wow.
I mean, it was a beautiful fucking house.
And even some of those houses in the French Quarter by Bourbon Street, off the beaten road, some of them, like, they're all super close together, and I wouldn't. But even them, you can ask Jamie. I'm like, just staring. I'm like, I'm not a person about architecture, but just to see how old some of these buildings are and see some of the shit that stuff's not made that way anymore, and the ornate designs and all this shit. I'm like, oh, just fucking phenomenal. And then again, those cemeteries, how old they are. Looking at them, some of the. And then, I don't know if people know the reason why they're in above-ground tombs.
That's what I was just going to ask you. I was like, do you know, did they explain to you why they're in above-ground tombs?
Yeah, because, well, first of all, if you dig more than 4 feet down, you're hitting sea level and everything floods. And that's why during Katrina and other hurricanes, bodies have floated. Yep. Because they were buried too far. So, and then the history of some of these tombs, too, I'm sure you did the same tours. But the way they are is a body's put in there. And once a body's put in there, it cannot be disturbed for a year and a day. Yeah. But while it's in there, it gets so fucking hot that after a year and a day, also, if you were to open it up, all you're going to find is bones and dust. So these tombs, you'll see multiple names on them after a year and a day. So anytime after a year and a day, if anyone else dies in that family and they want to be, that they chisel open the front, get a broom or a stick, actually, and this is where we found out, too, that the term I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole comes from there, because they say they use a 10-foot pole, push all of the bones and shit to the back, collects it in a bag, sits next to it, put the next body in there. No one can disturb it for a year and a day. And they said that's part of, I think it's Catholic religion that is, it's got to be there, but also it's enough time. So you ask yourself, well, what if 2 family members die in the same year? They get put in a separate, like a holding tomb, air quote, like a holding tomb until the first body's been a year and a day. Then this one goes in there. So it's just interesting, all this, like the shit I learned. And man, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, it was cool. The shit that, the ghost tour that we did. Yeah. It was really cool.
The history we learned, and then like I said, just all, again, all the images to see some of the shit, like the like I said, the architecture, and then the artwork, the designs on some of the tombs, and just some of the buildings. Again, just random buildings are just still look like, wow, look at the, like, just beautiful shit out of nowhere, you know. And then also while we were down there, Rain let me know. She goes, she texted me out of nowhere. She goes, oh, you guys are down here and you haven't even watched the show that belongs down there. I'm like, what show are you talking about? And she said the show called The Originals. I'm like, well, what is it? She goes, it's about vampires. She goes, vampires in New Orleans. She goes, all the places you're going to.
That, yeah. And
I'm like, oh, really? So I Googled some of the places, and I took pictures of some of the places from the show. Here, Rain. And she's like, oh, that's so cool. Found out The Originals, though, is a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries. So the Vampire Diaries, wherever that takes place, who knows? But The Originals is in the Vampire Diaries world. It's just vampires in New Orleans instead of where Vampire Diaries. So I told him, like, I got to watch it now because I guess a lot of the places there, like, so Jackson Square, where Andrew Jackson's in front of that big-ass cathedral, is huge in that show. It's also, the main reason we want to go to New Orleans is Princess and the Frog. Jamie took a picture of Jackson Square, of the cathedral, just because it was beautiful. Later, she's looking at, she goes, I think that's in Princess and the Frog. She found an actual still frame from Princess and the Frog at the end of the movie when Princess Jasmine and Prince Naveen get married. Their horse carriage takes them right past the big cathedral. Well, where we were standing, the picture Jamie's got is almost like identical to the cartoon, like cool. Right there. Like she's like, look, it's the same. Like, holy fuck! So it's just, I don't know. I'm like gushing and going on right now because how much fun it was there.
Honestly, like don't get me wrong. I love Nashville. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed Miami, but New Orleans, by far one of my favorite places to go.
I told Jamie it's got my heart already when I went back.
I would love to go back.
And Jamie even said, she goes, we got to find the time to come here with Lupe. I go, it's never going to happen. I go, we can't be on vacation at the same time. I go, district manager and route guy, they can't be from the same team. Well, how did you guys go to Nashville together? I go,
it was a weekend.
Because I was already off and Lupe had a day off and Jeff pulled some strings for me and let Lupe have a day off when he shouldn't have. I go, plus it was one day, not a full week. I go, the two of us can't be off a full week together. But yeah, because right away Jamie's like, we got to come down here with Lupe. So yeah. But fuck, and I'm probably forgetting some of the shit, but, and it's funny, I didn't share any of my pictures on Facebook. Normally I do when I get back from vacation, and I didn't, but I'll put some on the Facebook post to go along with this episode, like some of the cool shit. Man.
Yeah, definitely would love to go back. I mean, it's seriously one of my favorite fucking places to go. Mm-hmm. And it's not even, like, don't get me wrong, I love getting drunk. I love having fun, having a good time, drinking and stuff like that. It's just the history and everything like that. It's
how old the shit is. Like, some of the dates on those tombs.
Oh, yeah.
1756, 1787, 1803, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, the history alone. Yeah, the history. And then again, throw in the fact that it's haunted and voodoo and scary and creepy. It's like I said, it was our dream vacation.
Yeah.
Because of that and their food. And like I said, Jamie doesn't eat seafood, but she fell in love with the fried chicken and the other. Oh, she had a peach. Nope. It was a peach cobbler. Mm-hmm. She said she wanted to go back and order it every day. I had bread pudding at the same place she had that at. Oh my God, it was so good. Or pecan cobbler. It was pecan cobbler. Something. I don't know. Either way, it was great. And then she got pralines from down there. Uh-huh. I never knew what pralines were. I always thought it was some kind of nut.
Basically, it's an oversized shrimp.
No.
Oh, no.
It's a caramel.
Fuck.
It's like a caramel. Because I've heard of pralines and cream ice cream, but I always associate praline as a nut. She bought some, and I had some the other day. I'm like, this is a praline? She goes, yeah. I go, this is the best thing I've ever tasted. She goes, see, you've been afraid that... I'm like, I always associated praline as a nut, but it's like a caramel-y thing. Oh, my God, it was so good. We got, oh my God, so much food down there. I literally, I think, before I left, I think I put on like 9 pounds in the week there, which is crazy because how much we were walking.
Yeah.
And I feel like I didn't eat a lot. Like I ate at meal times, but walked a lot, but I did finish, and they make big servings there, and I did finish all my food. So I put on 9 pounds, but already, so we got back last Friday. So today, from the 9 pounds I put on, I'm down 5 or 6 already again. So I'm back to eating the right way. And
we also have to think, like, it's got to be a lot of water weight, especially with how much you were drinking, too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, too. Oh, man. I was mad at myself was, the first 2 nights we were there, we would stop at the corner shop. I'm like, I need to buy water. Like, I wanted to buy like a case of water while we were down there.
Yeah.
But nobody had cases of water. So I bought like the big ass, like 40, 50, 60 ounce of like Life water. Drank it the first night. Because otherwise, all I was drinking was soda and alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to drink water. Like, not only just because, but since I've gotten better at it, I'm like, it's not good to not drink water. Like, at least my body too, with the diabetes and shit too. I'm like, I need to hydrate, because then also I'm going to cramp up if I'm walking around without any fucking water in me. So yeah, I bought a shit ton of water while we were down there. I drank, and then our meetings on Wednesday and Thursday, they have pitchers of water, so I was drinking water throughout my meetings, when I wasn't drinking alcohol at night. So
I know. I wish I would have remembered the fucking place that we. The very first night we got down there, we were walking, and I don't know. Carissa spotted it, and she's like, "Hey, let's go take a shot."
yeah.
It was just this random ass bar. It had Jello shots, and we were like, "All right, we didn't think anything of it."
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "All right, I'm gonna give you these ones." He's like, "You don't pick anything else on the board." He's like, "I'm gonna give you these ones." Okay, that's a little weird. Like, I want to pick my own shot, maybe. He's like, "No, seriously, trust me on this. You're gonna want these ones." And I have the pictures.
Were they laced with something?
No, they were at 151 shots.
Ooh.
So I'll show you the pictures. He's like, before you take them, he's like, "Give me your phone. I'm gonna take pictures of you guys during the whole shot process."
Yeah.
Okay. And you can see us like take the shot, and then our faces just go completely like, oh my gosh, it was so funny.
Along those lines, when we were walking around Wednesday, so a couple of the guys that I know, Nate from Plymate got there, and this guy DJ Redmond, he's from Gallagher in Michigan. They were there. We were walking around with them. We walked into a random bar, and we sat there to have a couple of drinks, and I see behind the bar a bottle of Malort. I'm like, "You guys have Malort here?" The guy's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh," and Nate had walked outside. I'm like, "DJ," I'm like, "You haven't been to Chicago with me yet." I go, "But this is what everyone that comes to Chicago has to do, a shot of Malort." He goes, "What? Why?" I go, "Because you have to." He's like, "What's it taste like?" I'm like, "I don't know." So he's like, the bartender, he's like, "Let me smell it." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Are you going to do it or not?" "No." I'm like, "I'll buy it. Do a shot." "No." So then the bartender's like, "You got to try it." So he gave him like half a shot. He's like, "Here, DJ." I'm like, "Take it." DJ's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Welcome to Chicago, even though we're not in Chicago." So he took it. He's like, "Okay." "Whoa! Why would you do that? What is wrong with you? Who bottles that stuff?" And he's like, why is that the Chicago shit? And he's just going for the next 2 hours every time. I don't ever trust you again. It was just hilarious that I had him do a shot of Malort.
So I know it's gonna pause here for a second, but I gotta show you these. So this is. I'm gonna talk us through this. So this is right when we got the shot, and like he was just taking crazy pictures.
Yeah.
So, and it probably would have been better if he would have did a video.
You probably didn't know how to.
But yeah, and it was an old man too. So,
look at
so Autumn right away. Carissa's face.
Look at Murph.
Dave.
So you're saying they were strong?
Yes, extremely.
Did they cost extra too?
No, they weren't that bad. I think
Yeah.
they were maybe $15 shots.
Let's see if you can see the name of the hotel or the bar. Strongest Jello shots on Bourbon Street, it says. Nope, those are all just regular bar signs.
I don't know. There's Dave.
The Merv.
No.
Culture on tap. No.
It's a beer.
What's that green sign say?
Peanut butter and jelly shot.
Test tube filled. Shot special. Peanut butter and jelly. Wines to go. I'm sure we could find it somewhere
Yeah.
if we looked hard enough. But look at Merv. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's and we did spend a lot of money.
Oh, you went to Boot Scootin' Rodeo.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dave on the bull.
That's where Nate rode the bull. I couldn't get on the bull. They wouldn't let me. I weigh too much.
Oh, really?
They said there's a weight limit, and I told the guy running it, the dude running. I'm like, he's like, come on, you want to ride too, don't you? I go, no. I go, I'll hurt myself. He goes, come on, you want to? And then I saw the sign. I go, no. I go, I weigh too much. The weight limit's 250. I go, I weigh too much. He goes, no, you don't. Look at you. You're fine. I go, listen. I go, dude, I'm about 305. No, you're not. Trust me. You can ride it. I go, it says 250. And he was telling me, he's like, you don't look like there's no way you weigh that much. There's no way you weigh that much. I go, I do. And I go, I'm not getting on there. Because the last thing I need is, to fall off and hurt myself. And same reason when I tried to ride it in KC, when I went to one of these meetings, DJ was with me, this DJ from Gallagher. He went with me to the KC bar, and I tried to get on. And I couldn't even hop up, but I was even heavier back then. And I'm like, I'm like, it's probably a good thing. Because, if I got thrown off and I can't come to work. Why? I hurt myself doing what? Riding a mechanical bull. so they don't need that going on. But yeah, all in all, it was fucking amazing.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out a way to set something up so we can all go.
Yeah.
Even if it is for a weekend. I mean, just to get down there and just have a good time.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Like I said, because we spent the whole week there and we literally had nothing to do from Saturday till Wednesday. Mm-hmm. We were able to do a lot of shit. I mean, just walking around alone was enough. But yeah, we got both the cemetery tours in. We got, to see the medium. We got to go to Cafe Du Monde. All the eating, everything we did was just, yeah. And I had a list of things I wanted to do, and we did everything except for the Gator tour because it wouldn't have been,
Yeah.
And then I'm mad at myself. So while we're down there, my sister told me. She's like, you need to go to O'Reilly's bar, I think she said. Because they supposedly have the best hurricanes there. I'm like, I'm not going to go to an Irish bar on Bourbon Street. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm here for the voodoo, the Cajun. It's got to be a Creole bar. I'm like, or something. I'm not going to an Irish bar. Last day we're there, maybe actually on our way back to the airport. The guy gave us a ride to the airport. He's like, hey, did you guys go to O'Reilly's at all? I'm like, for what? He goes, they make the best hurricanes. He goes, they're famous for their hurricanes. Like, they actually started the hurricane. They are the most, he's like, they're the best tasting hurricanes you've ever had. I'm like, damn, motherfucker. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I was fucking cursing my sister out saying, I'm not going to a fucking Irish bar while I'm down here. And here, this guy that he lives there. He said, I've lived my whole life here. He goes, you have to go to that bar. I'm like, motherfucker. But I'm glad I got to go to that. I said the Lafitte's Blacksmith because it said it's literally the oldest bar in the United States. And it was cool just to hang out there, and like I said, the history of the place is just insane. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop, Piano Bar and Lounge, oldest bar in the USA since 1772.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just insane. But yeah, and then we went to the Pharmacy Museum because Jamie's basically her career is in pharmacy. Yeah. So to go see some of this old pharmacy shit that again. I was interested just for Jamie's sake, but she loved it too. God, yeah, like just some of the shit, like it's just. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of it, and people are probably like, "Okay, we don't care about hearing about your vacation, Dan." but
oh, you know who was actually down there while you were down there? One of the guys from the last pod.
Really?
Yeah. Who's the one you know?
Don.
Don is the older one? Or younger one?
Don's the older one.
Okay, the younger one was out there. I can't remember his name.
I can't think.
Dan, no.
No.
Don and Sean.
Sean, okay, yeah.
Sean was down there.
Really?
Yeah, and I meant to text you. I meant to tell you that he was going to be down there, and I completely slipped my mind until right now when I was going through my pictures.
How did you know he was there?
I listened to one of their most recent podcasts. And he said he was going down there, and I'm like, fuck, I think they about the same time that Dan's going to be down there.
Nice. So yeah, this is the balcony from where our meeting's at.
Oh yeah.
If you were to ever watch Your Honor, like they're literally up there. I'm like, holy fuck, that's the view we had. So yeah, it was just. I said I can't just. I'm still just so in awe of it, like how amazing it was. And I wish we would have been able to do like more spooky things, but we crammed as much as we could. And
shit, like I said, you guys did a lot.
Yeah,
you guys did a lot. I mean, us, like, we don't get me wrong, like we did a lot. We did a lot of walking. Mm-hmm. We didn't Uber anywhere. Mm-hmm. We when we did Uber, it was obviously a little bit further. Right. There was a free trolley that we would take.
Okay.
So we took the free trolley everywhere. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that was when we went to the Garden District and seen all the little shops in the Garden District and stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
no, it's definitely by far one of my favorite vacations to do.
I'm top two well, it's hard for me to rank them because all of them are for different reasons. With having the kids with me too,
Right.
but Puerto Rico last year and then New Orleans now, both again were work shit that I made longer
Yeah.
for us while we were going there. But yeah, also though, but besides just, and those are only two me and Jamie that were going on alone. Otherwise I usually have the kids with me. Before Easton and Rylan were born, we had Logan and Rain with us, and one of my favorite ones ever was was Gatlinburg. Was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I love the Gatlinburg. We went to Branson. I've loved all of them, but yeah, these last 2 years, Puerto Rico and New Orleans just have been a different level.
Yeah. But I think we can wrap that up now.
Yes, sir.
Guys, you can find us on all your major podcast platforms. On Instagram at impulsivethoughts_pod. If you're listening to this still, thank you. It was not our normal episode, but we
It touched on the spooky.
yeah. And we figured out what to talk about. We did have a little bit of dead air. I cut that out. You guys are not going to hear that, but and we actually had Marisol back on the episode for a little bit, so that was nice too. So you can find us on Facebook at Impulsive Thoughts, all the TikToks and stuff like that.
TikTok, Twitter, nothing's ever posted on there. YouTube,
Same with Instagram. I haven't did anything on
Instagram,
Instagram.
Grinder, AOL Live,
But yeah,
findafish.com. Maybe not. Find a farmer, whatever it's called.
farmers only.
Farmersonly.com. That's where you can find Donnie's profile.
Yeah. But guys, I'm Lupe, your favorite host with the most.
Debatable.
Joined here with Mr. Dano.
Good eye, mate.
We had Marisol on the episode.
For a little bit. Yeah, when this drops, again, if you're listening this late, I will be a grandpa. Marisol will be a mommy
Yeah.
by the time this comes out.
Guys, don't believe everything you think. We out this bitch.
Peace.
Peace.